But as you can see, I got 2 pieces of wood and I made sure they're the exact same length so that when I put them up on the wall, well, they're even. That's a good idea, right? And so what I actually did before that you guys didn't see was that I got a piece of wood that's about the length of my barbells that I'm going to be hanging up on here. And I matched them to the studs on the wall. And I just made sure I put that in first because that was going to tell me where exactly these needed to go on the wall. Next thing you want to be doing is basically just screwing these in, these vertical posts that I have right here for the 2x4s. And with these, I do about every 6 inches or so. I didn't really measure them out exactly, so I just kind of eyeballed it. But as long as you're doing this and you're using the right quality screws, you shouldn't have an issue with it whatsoever. This thing, after I put it up, it's not moving whatsoever. It's completely locked into the wall, and it's not shaking or looking like it's gonna, be a hazard to anybody. And that's definitely a good idea for these kind of projects that you're doing in your garage gym, because no one wants a couple 100 pounds of barbells landing on their head when they're lifting. And so we have the first one up there. We're gonna be switching over to the other side. And what I did with this was it kept smacking me in the head, so I decided to just put my head up against it to keep it in place. Sometimes you gotta use your head. And then from here, I went ahead and I pre-drilled all of the screws on the right side. That way they're ready to go as soon as I measure this out and make sure it's perfect. So what I did was measure the bottom vertical posts. And by doing that, it allowed me to see how far apart they are. And then go to the top of the post and make sure that they're lined up as well. And then next, I actually forgot that I had a drill set in my house. So I just used the same size screws to drill in these first couple of holes for what we're going to be hanging the barbells on. And these are just bike hooks that I got at Home Depot. I believe they're about, honestly, like $1 each, so they're very, very affordable. And with this, you're just going to screw them directly into the wall. Make sure that they're solid. Don't drill a hole in that's too big, because if you do that, it's going to move around in the socket, which is obviously bad when you want the barbells to stay there. So just find the right size drill bit so that it goes in properly and just screw them in. And here you see the completed portion on the bottom barbell hanger, and for this I just put my safety squat bar on there, just showing that it doesn't move whatsoever, it sits properly. And now we're going to go ahead and measure out the area for my trap bar, which is actually going to hang on that bottom section. And with this, basically what I did was I found the middle point of the whole entire piece of wood. I believe it's about 52 inches long total, so obviously the middle is going to be 26. And then from there, I measured and I got my trap bar distance at the top. And I believe it was around 10 inches. So depending on if you have a trap bar you need to hang, just measure it out, make sure you have the right size for this. And from here, you're actually going to drill those holes in. And here you see I actually have my drill that I didn't have before. And just drill those holes in, because for this one, my trap bar is actually 75 pounds. So I needed some heavier hooks. And Home Depot, again, they have these really heavy bike hooks, and they can hold up to, I believe, 50 pounds each, so it's 100 pounds total. So they were perfect. And as you can see here, they're going in very, very easily, as long as you drill the right size hole. So you're going to need a slightly bigger drill than the previous one, and then you just screw them in and you're good to go. Part 2 complete. And now I'm going to be cosplaying as Wolverine. If you haven't done this where you have like a fork, a knife, and a spoon and pretended to be Wolverine in your kitchen, then I highly recommend it, because it's hilarious and your friends will laugh and they will love you for it. And then what I went ahead and did behind the scenes was I drilled in holes about every 9 to 10 inches apart, just wherever those screws weren't at, and I just made sure they were lined up on both sides. And that way, when you're hanging the barbells, you make sure that they're completely level and one's not higher than the other on opposite sides. And once again, I just used my tape measure to make sure that I had the right angles for everything, and that made it very easy to hang those up. And basically what you're going to do is you're going to drill as many holes as you need to for the amount of barbells you need, and you're going to put in one bicycle hook on each side until you're done. As you can see, the finished product looks pretty good to me. And as I'm hanging these all up here, I'm making sure that the hooks aren't moving around and making sure everything's level. And I'm just making sure that it looks like it's going to hold it, securely without it falling off the wall, because that, again, is a very, very big precaution that you need to be taking care of if you're making something like this in your home gym.